Have you ever wondered why some people seem to get everything they want while others barely get noticed? They ask for a promotion and they get it. They ask for a discount and it's granted. They ask for support, collaboration, or even love, and the world seems to respond. It's not luck. It's not magic. It's a skill, the skill of asking. And here's the shocking truth. Most of us never learned it. We were told, don't bother people, or be grateful for what you have, or if they wanted to help you, they would. But the reality is this: closed mouths don't get fed. Silence rarely leads to opportunity. Asking directly, confidently, and smartly is what opens doors. Hit subscribe right now. Help us reach our first 100 subscribers. By subscribing, you're not just supporting this channel. You're committing to becoming someone who knows how to ask for what they want and actually get it. Why asking matters. In 2025, we live in a world flooded with noise. TikTok trends come and go in days. AI tools can draft proposals in seconds. Job applications get buried in automated systems. Opportunities don't land in your lap. You have to ask for them. Think about it. The influencer who asks their audience to follow gets millions of subscribers. The employee who asks for hybrid flexibility often gets it, while the silent ones struggle. The creator who asks for collaborations on LinkedIn gets featured, reposted, and discovered. Those who ask win. Those who don't, wait. Comment below. I choose growth if you believe asking is a skill worth mastering in your own life. The first barrier: fear of rejection. Why don't people ask? Because they're afraid of hearing no. Story: a young man named Jia Jiang conducted an experiment called 100 Days of Rejection. He deliberately asked for outrageous things: a free flight upgrade, Krispy Kreme donuts shaped like the Olympic rings, borrowing $100 from a stranger. At first, he was crushed by rejection, but over time, something shifted. He realized rejection wasn't fatal, and to his surprise, many people actually said yes. Rejection wasn't the end. It was just part of the process. Action step: this week, ask for something small that scares you. Maybe it's asking for a discount at a store. Maybe it's asking your boss for feedback. Start small, but start. The psychology of asking. Here's a secret most people don't know. People actually like being asked for help, if it's done the right way. A Harvard study found that people who asked for advice were perceived as more competent, not less. Why? Because asking shows humility, respect, and trust. It makes the other person feel valued. Story: think of LinkedIn. People post looking for advice from those who've navigated hybrid work transitions. That simple ask not only gets answers, it builds connections, credibility, and visibility. Action step: instead of saying, "I don't know how to do this," try, "Can I get your advice on how to approach this challenge?" That's a 1% shift that changes everything. The rule of specificity. Weak asks get weak responses. Strong asks are specific. Don't say, "Can you help me?" That's vague. Say, "Can you review my proposal for 5 minutes this afternoon?" That's specific. Story: a content creator once posted, "Please support my channel." Nothing happened. Then she posted, "Help me hit 10,000 subscribers by Friday. Just click subscribe." Thousands responded. Specificity created urgency, action. Step: this week, refine one of your asks. Make it concrete. Add numbers, timelines, or clear outcomes. The rule of framing. How you frame your ask changes everything. If you say, I hate to bother you. You've already framed yourself as a burden. If you say, I know your expertise could make a huge difference here, you've framed it as an opportunity for them to shine. Story. A young woman asked her boss, Can I leave early today? Denied. The next time she said, If I finish this report by 3 p.m., would it be possible to leave early to attend my daughter's recital? Approved. Same ask. Different frame. Action step. Rehearse framing your next ask with positive language. Show the benefit, not the burden. The law of reciprocity. Here's a timeless principle. People are more likely to say yes if you've given something first. Story. Think about your favorite YouTubers. They give free value, free advice, free entertainment. Then they ask, hit subscribe. And millions do. Why? Reciprocity. They've already received something valuable. Action step. Before your next ask, give something. Share a resource, offer help, show appreciation. Build reciprocity. Engagement. Break. Let's pause. What's the hardest part of asking for you? Fear of rejection, lack of clarity, or framing it right? Type your answer below. Your comment might even inspire the next video we create. And if this audiobook is already helping you think differently, hit like right now. It's your way of telling us, I'm committed to mastering the art of asking. Case study, the hybrid worker. Let's bring this into today's reality. Mark was working in a hybrid job in 2024. He felt exhausted commuting 3 days a week. He wanted 2, but he stayed silent, afraid of looking uncommitted. One day, he finally asked, If I deliver my weekly reports a day earlier, could I work from home Thursdays? To his surprise, his manager said yes. That small ask transformed his work-life balance. Here's the point. Opportunities often exist. They're just waiting for you to ask. Cliffhanger. What's next? So far, we've uncovered the basics, why asking matters, the psychology behind it, the rules of specificity, framing, and reciprocity. These alone can change how people respond to you. But in Part 2, we're going deeper. We'll explore advanced strategies, how to ask in negotiations, how to use timing, how to ask without words, and the hidden power of follow-up. Don't miss it. Subscribe now. Help us reach our first 100 subscribers. And comment, I choose growth if you're ready for the next level. Because what's coming next can turn simple asks into life-changing wins. Let's be honest. Most people think asking is just blurting out what you want. But if you've ever asked at the wrong time, in the wrong way, or to the wrong person, you already know it's more complex than that. There's an art to asking. And in this part, we're going to unlock advanced strategies that make your asks not only more persuasive, but nearly impossible to ignore. Before we dive in, hit like on this video. That's your way of signaling to yourself, I'm serious about mastering the art of asking. The power of timing. When you ask is just as important as how you ask. Ask your boss for a raise right after they've returned from a stressful meeting. Bad timing. Ask a friend for a favor right after you've done something kind for them. Perfect timing. Story. A startup founder once asked investors for more funding during a quarterly review. When numbers were low, they said no. Months later, after a viral TikTok campaign boosted user growth, he asked again. This time, yes, same ask, different timing. Action step. Before your next ask yourself, is this person in a state of openness or stress? Time your request to moments of positivity. The art of negotiation. Here's a secret. Negotiation is just structured asking. but most people walk into negotiations unprepared. Story. Think of job interviews. Candidates often accept the first salary offered, but those who ask, "Is there flexibility in this number?" often get 5 to 15% more. Companies expect you to ask, and if you don't, you're leaving money on the table. Action step. The next time you're offered something, salary, project scope, even a restaurant portion, practice a soft negotiation. Is there any flexibility here? That simple line can be worth thousands. Comment. Negotiate everything if you want us to make a full episode on negotiation tactics. The hidden ask. Nonverbal communication. Not all asking is verbal. Sometimes it's in your body language, tone, or presence. Story. A teacher once noticed two students asking for help in very different ways. One mumbled, eyes down, arms crossed. The other leaned forward, looked her in the eye, and said with steady tone, "Can you help me understand this?" Guess which student got more attention? Same words, different nonverbal ask. Action step. In your next ask, align your body language with your words. Upright posture, open hands, steady eye contact. Nonverbal signals can make or break the yes. The follow-up rule, most people give up after one ask. Big mistake? Story. A freelancer pitched a brand for collaboration. No reply. Instead of giving up, she followed up a week later. Still nothing. She followed up again, but this time with value. Here's a sample concept we could use. The brand responded. A deal was signed. Persistence matters. Most yeses don't come from the first ask. They come from the second, third, or fourth. Action step. If you've asked once and didn't get a reply, schedule a respectful follow-up. Add value, restate clearly, and don't be afraid to try again. Case study. The Side Hustlers ask. Samantha was building a side hustle in 2024, selling handmade jewelry online. At first, sales were flat. Then she learned the art of asking. She started DMing micro-influencers on Instagram. "If I send you a free piece, would you wear it in a post?" At first, many ignored her, but a few said yes. Those yeses created visibility. Soon, bigger influencers noticed. Sales grew 10 times. Her business didn't change because of ads or luck. It changed because she asked strategically and consistently. The rule of stacking. Yeses. Sometimes, the best way to get a big yes is to build small yeses first. Story. A politician campaigning for office doesn't immediately ask, "Vote for me." They start with small asks. Do you agree this issue matters? Will you sign this petition? Each yes builds momentum until the big ask feels natural. Action step. In your own life, start with small commitments. If you want support on a big project, first ask for a quick opinion, then a review, then deeper involvement. Small yeses lead to big yeses. The digital ask. In 2025, asking today isn't just face-to-face, it's digital, and digital asking has its own rules. On TikTok, you don't say, "Please support me." You say, "Follow if you want more daily productivity hacks." On LinkedIn, you don't say, "Give me a job." You say, "Excited to connect with leaders in this space, open to opportunities in hybrid strategy." Action step. This week, craft one digital ask. Whether it's a LinkedIn post, a TikTok caption, or a YouTube call to action. Make it specific, clear, and framed for the platform. Comment below. Digital ask. If you want us to break down platform-specific asking strategies. The rule of value alignment. The most successful asks are those that align with the other person's values. Story. An employee once asked her company to sponsor a community event. Instead of framing it as, Can you cover my costs? She said, this event aligns with our company's mission of supporting local businesses. Can we back it as a brand? That framing secured the sponsorship. Action step. Before you ask yourself, what does this person value and how does my ask align with that? Alignment makes yes easier. Engagement break. Pause with me. What's the hardest advanced ask for you? Timing, negotiation, follow-up, or digital asks? Type your answer below. Your comment shapes what content we create next. Maybe even a full masterclass on your biggest challenge. And don't forget to subscribe right now. Help us reach our first 100 subscribers. Every click matters, and you'll never miss the next part of this series. The courage to ask big. Sometimes the reason we don't get what we want isn't because the ask was wrong. It's because the ask was too small. Story. A young filmmaker once asked a small brand for sponsorship. They declined. Instead of stopping, she asked Netflix if they'd consider funding her short. To her shock, they said yes. That one bold ask transformed her career. The point: small asks keep you small. Big asks open big doors. Action. Step. This week, identify one bold ask you've been afraid of making, write it down, and prepare to make it. Cliffhanger. What's next? So far, we've gone deeper. Timing, negotiation, follow-up, stacking yeses, and digital strategies. You now have tools most people never use. But in Part 3, we'll take it even further. We'll explore how asking transforms relationships, how to ask in moments of conflict, how to ask for help without looking weak, and the hidden asks that build influence over time. Subscribe now so you don't miss it. Yes, because the next section is where asking becomes not just a tactic, but a way of life. Let's pause for a moment. By now, you've learned how asking works on the surface: timing, negotiation, digital presence. But the real power of asking isn't just about money, jobs, or opportunities. It's about relationships. It's about influence. It's about trust. When you master the art of asking in human connection, everything changes. Your relationships grow stronger, conflicts resolve faster, and people start seeing you as someone they want to say yes to. Before we dive in, subscribe now. Help us reach our first 100 subscribers. You'll make a huge difference for this channel, and you'll never miss the tools you need to master communication. Asking in relationships. Let's start close to home. Too often, relationships suffer not because of betrayal or neglect, but because people don't ask for what they need. They expect their partner, friend, or colleague to just know. Story. Take Emma and Josh. Emma felt unsupported in her career. She thought Josh should encourage her more. But she never asked. Josh assumed she was fine. Resentment built until one day she finally said, "What I really need from you is to celebrate my wins with me." Josh was surprised, but once he knew, he did it gladly. Most people are willing to give. They just need to be asked. Action step. Today, ask one person close to you for something you've been silently wishing for. Say it clearly. No guessing games. Asking without losing confidence. Many fear that asking makes them look weak. But the truth, asking shows confidence, if you frame it right. Story. On LinkedIn, a young professional once wrote, "I'm desperate for a job. Please hire me." Few replies. Months later, she reframed, "I'm looking to bring my skills in project management to a company building an AI. Who's hiring?" Dozens of opportunities opened. Same need, different confidence. Action step. Replace. "Please help me" with "I'm looking for," or I'd love your advice on. Confidence is not about pretending you don't need help. It's about owning your ask. The rule of vulnerability. At the same time, there's magic in being vulnerable. When your ask is rooted in authenticity, it builds trust. Story. During the pandemic, a small cafe owner posted on Instagram, "We're struggling to keep the lights on. If you've enjoyed coffee with us in the past, would you consider grabbing one this week?" The post went viral locally. Lines formed outside. Vulnerability created connection. Action. Step. When you make an ask, don't hide your humanity. Say, "This matters to me because..." Share why. Authenticity is persuasive. Asking in conflict. Here's a powerful truth. Most conflicts stay unresolved because people attack, not ask. Instead of, "You never listen to me," try, "Can you listen for 2 minutes without interruption?" Story. A manager once had a heated conflict with her team. Instead of arguing, she asked, "What do you need from me to feel supported?" The tension dissolved. The conversation shifted from blame to solutions. Action step. Next time conflict arises, reframe anger into an ask. Don't attack. Request. The hidden ask of listening. Sometimes the best way to ask for respect is to give it first. Story. At a networking event, 2 people met. One talked nonstop about himself. The other asked thoughtful questions and listened. Guess who got invited to collaborate? The listener. Why? Because listening itself is a hidden ask. Tell me more. I value you. Action step. In your next conversation, ask 3 questions before talking about yourself. Watch how people open up. The habit of asking for feedback. Feedback feels scary, but asking for it is one of the fastest ways to grow. Story. A YouTuber with only 1,000 subscribers asked viewers, "What's one thing I can improve?" Comments flooded in. Better lighting, clearer sound, tighter intros. She applied them a year later. 100,000 subscribers. Feedback is a gift, but you only get it if you ask. Action step. This week, ask one trusted person, "What's one thing I can do better?" Then listen without defense. Case study. The rising leader. Jordan, a mid-level employee in 2023, felt invisible. He worked hard, but no promotions came. Instead of staying quiet, he began asking. He asked his boss, "What skills do I need to get to the next level?" He asked a senior colleague, "Would you mentor me?" He asked in meetings, "Can I share an idea?" Within a year, he was promoted, not because he was the loudest, but because he asked. Asking positioned him as proactive, engaged, and growth-oriented. The influence ask want to know the secret of influencers. They ask. Consistently, they ask followers to like, comment, and share. They ask brands for partnerships. They ask their audience, "What do you want to see next?" And because they ask, they grow. Action step. If you want to build influence, practice asking small things from your network daily. Polls, feedback, shares. Each small ask builds momentum. Engagement break. Pause here. Which of these do you find hardest? Asking in conflict, asking with vulnerability, or asking for feedback? Type your answer in the comments. That helps us design future videos around your biggest challenges. And don't forget to hit like. It tells YouTube and yourself that you're committed to growth. The rule of repetition. Here's a truth most overlook. Asking once isn't enough. Influence comes from repetition. Story. Think about ads. How many times do you see a brand's message before you act? 5, 10, 20. The same applies in life. If you want someone to understand your idea, You can't just say it once. You have to keep asking in different ways, in different contexts. Action step. Choose one goal and make it your repeated ask. Not nagging, not begging, consistent clarity, the hidden ask of gratitude. Finally, don't forget this. Every ask must end with thanks. Gratitude turns a transaction into a relationship. Story. A freelancer once pitched dozens of brands. Some said no. She still sent thank you notes. Months later, 2 brands came back with offers. Why? Gratitude left the door open. Action. Step. No matter the outcome, yes, no, or maybe, thank the person you asked. Gratitude keeps opportunities alive. Cliffhanger. What's next? We've now explored how asking transforms relationships, how to handle conflict, how to build influence, and how to invite feedback. But there's still one final level. In Part 4, we'll bring it all together. How to ask in ways that change your future, how to use asking as a lifelong growth strategy, and how to make it your identity. Subscribe now so you don't miss the finale. You've made it this far, and that says something powerful about you. Most people quit halfway. They skim, they dabble, they consume, but don't commit. But you're still here. That means you're serious about mastering the art of asking. And in this final part, we're going to pull everything together. We'll talk about asking as a lifelong strategy. We'll talk about identity, vision, and how asking stops being just something you do and becomes part of who you are. If you've stayed with us until now, hit that like button. It's your way of saying, I don't just listen, I act. The identity of a person who asks. Here's a shift most people never make. They think of asking as something external, as a tactic. But the real transformation happens when you see yourself as someone who naturally asks, not pushy, not needy, just someone who lives in alignment with clarity, confidence, and growth. Story. A young professional once described herself as shy. She avoided asking for help, feedback, or opportunities. Then she decided to adopt a new identity. I'm the kind of person who asks clear, respectful questions. That single shift changed her career. Suddenly, asking wasn't scary. It was normal. Action step. Say this out loud. I am someone who asks for what I want. Identity drives behavior. Behavior creates results. The vision. Ask big dreams require big asks. You can't build a company, start a movement, or change your life without asking for help, resources, and support along the way. Story. Elon Musk asked investors to fund Tesla when most thought it was a crazy idea. Oprah asked for opportunities in television when very few believed in her. Every visionary you admire got there by asking. Again and again, often when the odds seemed impossible. Action step. Write down one bold vision you have for the future. Then write the first ask that could move it forward. Don't wait for perfect timing. Start now. The compound effect of asking. Every time you ask, you build something invisible. Trust credits, influence points, relationship capital, story. Think of your favorite creators on YouTube. They don't just ask once, they ask every video. Subscribe, like, comment. And over time, those tiny asks build millions of subscribers. The same works in your life. Small asks compound into big wins. Each yes stacks. Each no teaches. But only if you keep asking. Action step. Identify one small daily ask you can make this week. Practice it. Let it compound. The courage to ask boldly. This is where most people stop. They're fine asking for small things. But the moment the stakes rise, fear creeps back. Here's the truth. Life-changing opportunities usually require bold asks. Story. A student once emailed a best-selling author. Would you mentor me? She expected rejection. Instead, the author replied, I can't mentor you personally, but here are 3 resources that shaped me. That one bold ask opened a door she never imagined. The worst-case scenario wasn't humiliation. It was silence, and even silence is survivable. Action step. This month, make one bold ask. Something that scares you. Something that could change your path. The gratitude multiplier. We touched on this before, but it deserves repeating. Gratitude doesn't just end an ask politely. It multiplies your chances of future yeses. Story. 2 freelancers pitched the same brand. Both got declined. One sent no reply. The other wrote, Thank you for considering. I admire your brand and hope to cross paths in the future. Guess who got contacted months later when a new project opened? The grateful one. Action step. After every ask, win or lose, thank the person. Gratitude keeps doors open that you can't even see yet. Case study. The transformation of asking. Let me tell you about Lisa. Lisa was stuck in a dead-end job. She never asked for raises, never asked for promotions, never asked for feedback. One day she realized silence wasn't serving her. She committed to becoming an asker. She asked for mentorship. She asked for training. She asked to lead a project. She asked for a raise. And yes, she got rejected sometimes. But slowly, her life transformed. Within 3 years, she was in a leadership position at a new company, building a life she once thought impossible. Not because she was lucky, but because she asked. Engagement. Break pause here. What's the bold ask you've been avoiding? And when will you make it? Write it in the comments. Declaring it publicly makes it real. And don't forget to subscribe right now. Help us reach our first 100 subscribers. Join this movement of people who don't wait quietly, but ask boldly. The bigger why. Why does the art of asking matter so much? Because every opportunity, every relationship, every breakthrough in your life will come down to this. Did you ask, or did you stay silent? Asking is not greed. Asking is growth. It's the signal that you're ready for more. And in 2025, in a world of distractions, noise, and AI, your clear human ask stands out more than ever. Silence keeps you invisible. Asking makes you unforgettable. Motivational close. This is your moment. You've learned the psychology of asking, the rules of specificity, framing, and reciprocity, the advanced strategies of timing, negotiation, and follow-up, the relational asks of vulnerability, conflict resolution, and influence, and finally, the identity shift that makes asking a way of life. Now it's on you. Will you stay silent? Or will you step into the world with clarity, courage, and confidence, asking for what you want again and again until the doors open? 5 years from now, you'll look back on today. You'll either say, I wish I had asked, or you'll say, that was the day I became an asker. Hit like if you're committed to practicing this daily. Subscribe so you never miss the next audiobook, because your growth doesn't stop here. Your life is waiting. Your opportunities are waiting. The only thing between you and them is one courageous act. So go. Ask and keep asking until the world says yes.